Now we have 4 national forests here, and if you get a fire in any one of them, in any part of it, within 6 hours to 12 hours, that's going to be in a neighborhood. We were just over that ridge a minute ago. I'm going to show you what's happening right now. The fire is in this area. It's approaching a neighborhood. There's a road right here. They're conducting firing out operations into this area here to burn this up so it doesn't cross the road. That's what's happening right now. But as you said, the finger pointing and the blame game has started. Here's the fight. It was actually revealed in a 2003 review of that fire season and the lessons learned, and they basically said, in a nutshell, here's the fight. The cities and counties have said to the state, California's growing and the fire budget isn't. You're giving us an 8-month budget and a 12-month fire season. The state is saying to the counties, stop approving subdivisions and custom homes in the middle of wilderness, and then you wouldn't need it. And this illustrates what the fight is all about. These water-dropping helicopters trying to put out the flames, trying to save that home in the distance. What they're saying here is that cities and counties should never allow that house to be built. This is an area called the urban-rural interface. Over in the distance, that's the Cleveland National Forest. This is an area, a natural ecosystem, where fires occur on a 25 to 30-year basis, uncontrollable fires. And if these houses wouldn't be here, the firefighters wouldn't have to fight them. That's the argument against the cities and towns for allowing homes to be built in the foothills like this, where fire is a natural occurrence. And Neil here, back live in Orange County. Again, this is 50% contained right now, 20,000 acres burned, 12 homes, but firefighters saved many more. Conditions are improving, but as we know in San Diego County and up in Running Springs, the fire is still very intense. Back to you.
Thank you, William. Meanwhile, another alert for you. Former FEMA Director Michael Brown is blaming environmentalists for the mess in Southern California. He joins us right now. How is it environmentalists are behind this?
Well, Neil, I was just listening to that report, and what fascinates me is they're missing the third leg of that argument, and that is if we're going to have growth and allow people to live where they want to live and choose to live, then we've got to start doing mitigation. They could be doing controlled burns. They could be doing forest thinning and clearing out some of that tinderbox that creates these fires, but the environmentalists won't let you do that.
But the builders have kind of trumped the environmentalists, right? Against their recommendations. They've been building in these areas, so the environmentalists claim it's not us and brushes, it's them and homes. What do you say? Well,
except that if you really study how these fires work, and I watched it in 2003, is that if you don't do the controlled burns and get rid of some of that fuel in there, then you have what we see right now. But if you did the controlled burns, did the forest thinning, then those trees are not as susceptible to fire, and it wouldn't be as bad as it is today.
You know what? You probably know how this emergency stuff works when you get various people. Homeland Security is there now that oversees FEMA. Right. FEMA itself is there. You have state officials there. Some military types there. Who runs the show in this event, Michael?
The state does, and the state always should. And in that respect, I think that Arnold is doing an incredibly good job. He's been in front of this issue. He ordered evacuations. He told people what to do. He had the Qualcomm Stadium and Del Mar set up. He did exactly what he was supposed to do. And I think that stems from in 2003 when he and Gray Davis were going through that recall fight. I remember having Gray Davis on one side and Arnold on the other side, and Arnold was paying attention. He learned from that experience.
Let me ask you, the president is supposed to come to California tomorrow. Everyone remembers the Katrina situation. You suffered some bad PR then, even though it was later indicated that you, in fact, had been warning about the severity of what was going on there. How important is it for the president to show up so soon? Some people are saying bad idea, bad timing, just as they did at the time in New Orleans. Is there a rule of thumb on this?
There is no rule of thumb, and I remember having numerous conversations with the White House, with Andy Card and others about, is this a good day? Should we wait a few more days? The key is, because of the president's entourage and the security apparatus that comes with it, you just have to make certain that his movement through that area doesn't disrupt anything, and that's the call the White House has to make.
All right, Michael Brown, I want to thank you for joining us. Appreciate it.
Always good to talk to you, Neil.
Michael was mentioning Andy Card, the former White House Chief of Staff, will be my special guest on Fox Business Network tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, about an hour and a half from now. We are going to talk about how the president handles crises, any president. This time, a major fire only a couple of years ago, a major hurricane. Andy Card was there then, some reflection from him now. Then, of course, we have Geraldo coming up. He is on scene and looking at a situation that has a lot of firemen and the likes of working nonstop to try to get this under control. The unsung heroes from a man who's been talking to them, knows them well. Geraldo from California.